Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready to rock? Here's another episode of Offstage with DWP, and we have somebody who we've seen him like kind of graduate high school and college, and now he's passed his master's program, and is a full-fledged rock and roll star. We got Caleb from Columbus, Ohio, from Beartooth. What's up,
My
brother?
man, thank you for that introduction. I feel all warm and fuzzy, man. We go back.
We
I'm just
do.
thinking about it. Like, man, we've been doing festivals together since the beginning, man.
Literally since the beginning, and not only the beginning of Beartooth, but Attack played
Yeah.
Rock
Oh, yeah,
on the Range.
absolutely.
I think it was 2012 or 13 with a lean on 12.
Yeah.
Maybe 11. But all I remember on the Attack Rock on the Range show, which was on stage 2, was you guys into Turnstile, or vice versa. And there was a lot of, and I mean this as a compliment, there was a lot of blood on the concrete. There were kids with bloody noses, man. It was like, oh, these guys are serious. Jesus.
Dude, I'll never forget that festival, man, because I think that was the first time I ever played it or was a part of it. And I don't know why I was nervous, but I was like, man, this is just like such a giant stage. And I don't know, we've done like a handful of festivals, but nothing that big. It was the biggest rock festival in the US, right?
Yes, sir. Well, I'll cut right to it. I mean, what's it like for you? You're born and raised in Columbus?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like tried and true, Buckeye Nation.
I believe.
So when you're on stage, whether it was Attack or when you're on the main stage with Beartooth at Rock on the Range, which the first time was hold on, I'm gonna get this right. First time was 2017 on the main stage, and then on 2019 you were second on. So these wonderful baby steps you're taking with us.
Yeah.
Like, take me back that first Attack show, and then of course playing the main stage with us.
Oh my God, man. So I mean, second stage, I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was going to be a lot smaller than it was. It was huge. And it was just this giant parking lot. And I was like, man, there's no way like we're going to be able to make this, like fill this out. And it was packed. I mean, it was, I saw somebody got video from like up in the stadium, and it was just a sea of people. And that was an amazing experience. But man, when we played the main stage for the first time, I have never in my life been more like jacked up with adrenaline. I mean, after you play so many shows, you just kind of get used to it and you don't really get that like crazy buzz out of the gate. But man, I mean, both times, those are probably my two favorite sets I've like ever played. I mean, we got to play in the stadium at home to the home crowd. Like they went very well, I would say. They were some great sets.
It was. I'll get this out of the way. We were talking offline. We're off stage with DWP. We have our friend Caleb of Beartooth joining us. The last concert I've been to, the last fucking live show, was March 2nd, 2020 in Amsterdam. I was with my wife and my daughter, who was studying abroad in London, and we took a train to Amsterdam and noticed that Beartooth was playing. Hooked up with your manager, Thomas. He hooked me up. It was 2 minutes away from my hotel. It was a great night. My question to you is, do you have in your mind a difference between walking on stage in Amsterdam or Des Moines, Iowa, or Columbus, Ohio? Are shows, or is it all one to you?
At this point, I think it has started to change over the years. I mean, when I was younger, it was just every show is a show. But I mean, I still give it all at all the shows, but the feeling I get before I go on stage is definitely a little different. Like going on in Amsterdam, I mean, that was a hype show. That whole tour was sold out front to back, pre-sale, which was like one of the first times we'd done that. And it was our biggest headline tour to date. Awesome. So every show of that tour was just a lot of gas in the tank, really pumped, really prepped, really like, we need to nail these and, solidify. So, playing in Amsterdam, I think it was probably like 1,500-ish, something like that. It was still like a big, crazy show, and I was pumped. But it also been, we'd been in the groove, so it's just like show after show, and we got the set so dialed that I didn't really get those jitters. But then, like Columbus is a big one. That's always the show that really gets me like ready to roll, whether we're playing at Express or we're playing at the festival. Just there's something about the hometown crowd that like, and family's always there, and you just gotta really be dialed in, and it gets wild every single time we play Columbus. So yeah, I mean, I think for certain bigger shows, I definitely get a little extra buzz. That's for
Dude,
sure.
yeah. You can't have like Uncle Jerry and your niece going, I don't know about his career choice here. You got to step
Dude,
up
yeah.
when they're playing.
You gotta bring it, man.
Yeah.
It's just in hometown shows are always so fun, man, because we always do like a friends and family area with a ton of booze and everybody just gets lit up and you just see everybody like having the best time of their life, and it's always a treat.
Well, Beartooth is one band, and I'll get to it in a second how we discover Beartooth. But Rock on the Range and Sonic Temple aside, Carolina Rebellion, Epicenter, Louder Than Life, Aftershock, Chicago Open Air, Rock
Yes.
Allegiance, Aftershock. I said you've played them all with us,
Oh yeah.
and we're still like in second gear with you guys. I mean, we're gonna ride this out with you till you're playing at night and you're playing instead
Oh
of,
yeah.
yeah, you're going to play to a packed house with a full light show. It's going to happen. I
Oh
want to take
man,
it
I can't
back.
wait for that
Yeah.
day.
But it's happening the right way with Beartooth, and DWP. We talk about with a lot of bands, especially in rock, it's not some American Idol pop short circuit thing.
No.
There is no short circuit. It's truly baby steps, and it's
Yeah.
artist development. And either that or you're not going to have a career in rock.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I totally agree. And what I think, I mean, you guys do so well is you're loyal to your bands that really put in the work and do all the festivals with you guys. And it's just, I mean, it works. And like but those crowds, like at all those festivals, I mean, they are real fucking rock fans, like the real deal. So if you go out there and you don't bring your A game, you can't step up. So that's why every show at those festivals I think is so important, because to capture that fan base takes a lot of work, but when you do, they are so fucking loyal and just so stoked to see you the next time, and it just keeps getting a little bit bigger each time. And it's yeah, that's the grind in rock and roll. There's no fucking overnight thing. It's work, you know what I mean? But
Right.
when you get it right, they are as loyal as a music fan can be.
That rock fan that you talk about that comes to the DWP festivals, we agree. I think over the years, they've been kind of trained and harnessed into knowing that this is not some regular theater they're going to. They're going to Louder Than Life. They're going to Aftershock. They're going to bring their A game. And in
Oh
turn,
yes.
I think that makes a band step up, because you're right. We've seen bands go through the motions and it doesn't pay off
Oh
for them.
yeah. No, and you just go nowhere. And I think it's about understanding and respecting the fans that are there as well. Like for me, it's always so cool to play those festivals because for a lot of people, that's their big vacation of the year. And
Right.
they're camping out and they've saved up, and they're thinking about who they're going to buy merch from and what shows they're going to see and how they'll like plan this whole thing. And to me, I just want to like be as respectful of that as possible. And I think anything short of the best Beartooth set we've ever put on is just like a disservice to these people who have put so much work into getting here and experiencing like their favorite weekend of the year.
Well, let's make sure that 21 that will happen, please.
Oh yes.
And when it does happen, the hunger and the desire, the intensity and the angst, it's just gonna all
Dude,
explode like a volcano. And
I literally
maybe,
can't I even wrap my head around how insane shows are going to be when they can come back, dude. Everybody is just going to be so wound up, and it's going to be chaos, man,
right,
in the best way.
like by 4:30 p.m. at our festival, they're gonna be drenched and done. So they got to
Oh
pace
yeah,
yourself.
for
Hey,
sure.
dude, I want to take it back. Beartooth formed in 2012.
Yep.
I'm going to throw a name at you, and I want to see what reaction and what kind of memory. Paper Tiger Studios.
Oh, dude. Yes. Paper Tiger, man, the beginning of everything.
Was that
Dude,
an
that's
8-track or like analog stuff?
no, it was a digital studio. But yeah, it was our friend. He was just like the guy in the local music scene. That's where Attack Attack, we did all of our demos, and We did like an EP there. His name was Bobby Leonard. Dude is a Columbus legend. But yeah, he just had this little basement studio, and you could go down. And I mean, back then it was like, if you brought him a case of beer, he'd charge you like $75, and
Nice.
you'd be
For a
good to
full
go
day?
for a whole day. And you just go in, set up, record it, and you leave with a mix song. And that was the way it worked at Paper Tiger. And it was the best sounding place in Columbus, so everybody went there. And man, that brings back serious memories. That is crazy that you just brought
So
that up.
was Disgusting recorded there?
No, that was at my place.
Okay.
I recorded. Beartooth never did anything with Paper Tiger. Attack in the early days was Paper Tiger, but that was even my first ever like local band. When I played drums when I was like 13, we recorded at Paper Tiger. But
Do you use a metronome, or you go hardcore? Just
back then, no. Back then it was just go for it, and
good. Yeah.
I just play and see what happens.
When was the last time you listened to some of that stuff?
Oh my God, I don't even know. I've listened to a little bit of like the old Attack stuff recently because I did an interview that was like kind of talking about my discography. And so I just wanted to like kind of refresh myself a little bit, and that was a trip. But
were you cringing, or were you like, yeah, this is pretty good?
I mean, a bit of both. There are certain times where I'm like, hey, for a bunch of literal teenage kids that know nothing, like this ain't half bad. And then there's other times where I'm like, yeah, this is 100% a bunch of teenagers that don't know what's going on. And it didn't go as well.
I want to talk about the song that kind of broke the mold for us, that we got turned on to, which is Beaten in Lips.
Oh yeah.
Number one, did you play every instrument on that?
Yeah, all Beartooth records. I play everything. And
Look at that.
the first record
To this day?
was,
I didn't know that.
oh yeah, still to this day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Look at you, Dave Grohl, Phil Collins over there.
Hey, I don't know. To me, it's like I love playing instruments, and honestly, I'm like probably a guitar player and a drummer and a bass player before I am a singer, but I just ended up being the singer. So when I started Beartooth, I was like, yeah, this will be my thing where I actually get to play instruments on records, because I never get to do that. So yeah, in the studio, I lay down the tracks. But man, Beaten in the Lips was a huge song for us. I mean, still is. It's a fan favorite, and it's one of my favorites to play every time.
So to get into that, when it was your record label who, right after I think our season of Carolina Rebellion and Rock on the Range and even Northern Invasion, we started getting crazy submissions. Like Careful What You Wish For. We used to get down on our knees and beg for bands to play back in the early days.
Yeah.
But by 2012, 13, we were getting pounded by everybody, because we had DWP's rock festivals were not just patting ourselves on the back, the premier festivals in America.
Yeah, they're the biggest and the best, no question.
Well, cheers to that.
Yeah.
And so we got a demo from your label, and yeah, the music was intense and the riffs were there, but brother, it was the lyrics that got me and Danny Wimmer. And if I could just kind of go through the chorus with you really quickly.
Yeah, sure.
Which is this is for the kids with the beaten up lips, whose parents tried to shut them up using their fists. Keep living loud and proud. They can never hold you down. I get choked up still to this moment, Caleb, reading that. And number one, I have to ask you, is it personal? Number two, when I see you sing that song live, I see a bevy of fans in the front row, tears in their eyes sometimes, singing that right back to you.
Yeah, man, that's a heavy one to play, for sure. And the reason it's heavy for me, it's not personal. I had, really amazing parents, was super blessed and never had any abuse or anything like that. But going, touring for so long and talking to so many people at shows, like so many kids that are like, say that, your music helps, I've been abused and things like that. And it was just so mind-blowing and sad how many people at shows have dealt with being abused by their parents.
Yeah.
And so that I mean, most Beartooth songs are like internal and they're like just about what I'm going through, but that's probably one of the only ones that I've written for like specifically other people. And
Caleb, is there
yeah, it was
somebody
just,
when was there somebody when you were singing that live? Is there somebody who you think about, or is it just really kind of a kind of a cornucopia of different people?
yeah, well, I mean, it's just the people that go to shows. It's just I know so many of those same like those type of kids that they're going to shows is how they like survive and escape and like keep themselves together mentally. And I've just talked to I mean, I could not count how many kids I've talked to at shows over the years that have dealt with that. So yeah, it's I mean, I really just think about the fact that I just know there are probably a large amount of people that have dealt with this at this show. So that's like, I guess the thing that gets me emotional when we play it, you know?
Yeah, if I could say, you know, number one, good on you for writing a song like this, and it carry with it, it carries a responsibility, and yeah, it's not an easy type of song to write, probably not an easy type of song to sing. Maybe it's cathartic a little bit
Mm.
when you do perform it. And if I can just say, please don't stop on that lyric content. Keep on writing like that.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
yeah, it is just a wild experience every time, man, because like I've been saying, just to like, if I could be able to give people an hour, hour and a half away from their lives, away from their emotions, just where they can be in a moment and just kind of like let everything out. Um, it's an absolute fucking honor and a privilege, man, and I definitely don't take it lightly.
Well, hey, we're with Caleb of Beartooth. You're off stage with DWP. You and I have talked offline and backstage and stuff, hanging out about, you know, our favorite bands and favorite music, favorite live shows. And I know one of them and
Yeah,
one band that you always cite is Slipknot.
fuck yeah,
Fuck yeah.
absolutely, man.
So what was it like when you got the call in 2015 for Slipknot and Suicidal Tendencies? Again,
Oh
here's a
my
kid
god,
from
dude.
Columbus, Ohio, and you got the call to go on tour with them. And this is a band that means so much to you.
I didn't believe it at first. Tom was like,
Your
I think
manager.
Tom, yeah, Thomas, our manager, and Dave Shapiro, our agent. Uh, Tom like called me and he's like, check your email. And I was like, why? And he's like, I was like out on Warp Tour, and he's like, you got an offer from fucking Slipknot. And I was like, no, we didn't. I was like,
April Fools. Right.
yeah, I was like, all right, man, like, come on. And he was like, seriously, like, and it's a pretty good offer. And so I looked at the email and I was just like, what the actual fuck? Like, how did we manage to do this? And it's just us and Suicidal Tendencies and them. And I mean, my brain was just fucking racing. It was, I mean, that was like the craziest phone call I've ever fucking got in my life. And then, you know, move on to being on that tour.
Yeah.
And like that, the reason I love that band so much is after touring with them, like they are just the fucking best. Like they are the best in the business. Nobody can do what they do, and nobody tours better than they do. Nobody takes care of you more than they do. I mean, I just could not believe how cool everybody was, how great their crew was, how accommodating, just so above and beyond for, you know, we're just a small, you know, opening band at the time, and they just everybody gets treated on a level playing field. And it's really fucking cool. And that's the reason I'm like, I mean, obviously I'm just a huge fan of their music and their show, but now getting to know them a bit, I mean, I just fucking support them wholeheartedly, man. They're as good as it gets.
That's really wonderful to hear. And you hear that, and it feels like it's a rock and roll kind of hand me down from generation to generation. The best bands, Metallica, Slipknot, Avenged Sevenfold, you know, a band like Aerosmith. If I ask Sully of Godsmack, hey, what was it like going out with Metallica? He's like, oh, the best. The best
Yep.
because they take care of you. The best because they know what to do. The best because they're professional and they
Mm-hmm.
don't screw around, and they treat their fans with respect. They treat the roadie and the catering people. You know, they don't put up look up their they don't turn their noses up. at
No,
them.
not at
So, and
all.
you hear that. That's why the best bands are the best bands. And maybe
Yeah.
what Beartooth can learn from Slipknot, which you probably have, is how to treat
Mhm.
other bands and how to treat fans. And then the bands that you take out.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a great
it's just
hand-me-down
a
in rock and
cycle,
roll.
man. It's
Yeah.
just a cycle because you tour with those bands that are terrible to tour with, and it sucks. And it's just they're not accommodating and there's no respect there. And oddly enough, they're usually the smaller bands that aren't even like,
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, going out with, I mean, people like Slipknot and, Day to Remember, and like whenever we've gone out on these arena tours, majority of the time they are just the best. And we treat our camp and our tour, I mean, we're very, very intentional that like we take care of everybody on the fucking tour. Like everybody gets their riders and gets room on stage, and like whatever we can fucking do to help everybody. That's always super important for us. And yeah, I mean, from touring with fucking Slipknot and people like that, it's just the way it's got to be. If everybody's going to be happy and be out there doing what they love, like if you're a dick about it, it's just fucking terrible. Like it
Right.
just blows. You aren't stoked to play. You aren't stoked to show up at the venue. You know that you're going to have some junk closet green room in the back, or not even have a green room. And yeah, it's just no fun at all.
Right, right. I get the feeling in getting to know you, Caleb, that like myself, as you're evolving as an artist and a flag waver of rock and roll, that you really care about rock and roll.
Fuck yeah, absolutely,
Whether
man.
it's Slipknot, I know we've talked about like how Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters work as a band, and
Mhm.
song structure is important to you, not just getting up there for 40 minutes or an hour and screaming.
Mhm.
You're a fan of melody, and that was a big kind of the game changer for me on Slipknot, and obviously for millions, is yes, they're entertaining, yes, they have crazy mask and makeup and light shows, but Corey Taylor is a fucking singer, and they have
Oh yeah.
hits in their songs.
Dude, he is phenomenal, man. He's so good. And, we've been out with Stone Sour and seeing him, in more of a melodic environment. I mean, the dude is just a beast. Every single show. I mean, I've seen Corey play to 80,000 people, and I've seen him play to 1,100 people. Puts on the exact same show. Same amount of energy, same amount of like just needs to nail it. I mean, the guy is just so fucking in love with rock and roll and playing shows. It's really inspirational. And I mean, I definitely have tried to learn from that at any show, no matter what, like it is just as important. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
how could
Everybody
that
there.
not inspire you as a first to
Exactly.
third on a Slipknot tour and watching what Corey does? Yeah.
Oh my God. It's just unbelievable. And man, I'll tell you though, going on a Slipknot tour, that is you got to earn those fucking fans, man.
Right.
God, nobody had heard of us. We're going out there, and every single show was the same. It would start off, people would be like, "What the fuck is happening?" And then by the end, we'd have them. By the end, they were like, "Okay, these guys are pretty cool."
But you
And
earned it. Right, right.
but yeah, you had to earn it every show, every single show, because Slipknot fans are fucking diehards, and yeah, you got to earn it. But even man, getting to play with Suicidal Tendencies, dude, they were just so fun to watch, and it was just so cool. I mean, I remember the first show uh, we were playing, and I look over on the side stage, and fucking Corey was just standing there, just watching us, just like chilling, and I was like, holy shit, like that's not
Wow.
what I fucking expected at all. And then uh I was standing up watching Suicidal, and then he came up for like the beginning before he had to get ready, and he's literally just going nuts like a fucking huge I know he's a huge Suicidal Tendencies fan, but he's just on the side fucking singing along, like going off. I'm like, man, I'm just so glad that somebody like that is where they are in the world, because people like that, they just get it. They get what the fucking point of all this is. It's because we love rock and roll, and we love music in general. And like if you aren't out there enjoying it, and if you're fucking, getting jaded and whatever, like it's just pointless, man.
Well, great segue, because the song, probably my favorite Beartooth song, is from 2016's Aggressive, which
Hey.
has Rock is Dead, which I've told everybody that why that never was a single is beyond me. But I'm gonna quote yet again. If on Rock is Dead, if I make sound, it better be loud. If rock and roll's dead, you can kill me right now, motherfucker.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that lyric, I mean, we talk about beating up lips and the lyric content, and then Rock is Dead. That showed me again, Caleb, how again you are one of these guys who's going to be a champion and a cheerleader for the genre that we love so much.
Hell
And
yeah.
Rock is that song became a theme song for DWP. It became in a documentary we
Oh,
made
dude,
called
it
Long
was an
Live
honor,
Rock.
man. It was
Yeah,
an
so
honor.
talk to me about your feelings on Rock is Dead, the song, the statement.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I mean that one's pretty fucking cut and dry. There's definitely no like metaphors or anything in that song. It's just I love rock and roll, and it's I will fight to the death to fucking keep it going. And that's just so many people that I mean for years have just been saying rock and roll's dying off, and it's hopeless and it's just got a end date and whatever. But like, man, if you're on the DWP festival circuit, like you're just like, what are these people fucking talking about? Like these
Right?
are people are having a blast. There's a bunch of little kids there. Like there's fucking older people. There's every single age group, every nationality, whatever. Literally, people of all different types are all there to just enjoy rock and roll. And it's just this beautiful family, and it's so fucking inspiring. So like that's why I wrote that song after we, had been kind of going around a bit and we'd played a few big festivals and things are going well. I'm like, I don't think the state of rock and roll is really struggling. I, Metallica's still going out playing fucking football stadiums.
Yes.
Like, I mean, there's fucking Avenged, there's Slipknot, and then there's the whole next, come up of bands of like A Day to Remember, Bring Me the Horizon, Architects. Like,
Sure.
it's just still fucking moving. And yeah, so I will just do my best to help in the fight of the good fight to keep rock and roll fucking going. You know what I mean?
So will we. So will we. That leads us to 2018's Disease record featuring You Never Know. Dude, what's up with the one-word titles on your albums?
I don't know, man. It's just, well, I do know there is a reason that
Okay.
will continue to unfold as the records come out. But I don't know. To me, when I started doing it, I was like, it'd be nice to just come up with like, what is one word that sums this up? And as the records have unfolded, it's just kind of like turned into this thing that it's just a one word that completely describes what I'm trying to get across. And yeah, so that's where Disease came from. I mean, it was like I wrote Disease was the first song that I wrote for the record. And I was like, yeah, this is it. Like it's still probably my favorite song on the album. And I was just like, all right, well, we got it. This is what the record's going to be about. This is the title. Easy.
What's your favorite song to play live?
Oh my God, that is tough.
One came in your mind. I know it.
Probably The Lines, first song off of our first record. I mean, that we've opened with that so many times,
Yeah.
and we moved it around and changed over certain things. But when we did the Disease tour, we were just like, fuck it, let's just do it again and see what happens. And it is just the best way to start a show. Everybody goes fucking nuts. Everybody's jumping up and down. There's a lot of good times for people to sing. But yeah, that's just always, I know if we're opening with that, we're going to have a good time.
I got one for you because you're a man who plays drums, bass, guitar, vocals. Is there a song that you hear now that you recorded that you could say, I want to go back and redo that one? What's the one?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's probably on Aggressive. There are definitely a few on Aggressive where I was like, man, I wish I would have like in hindsight done like just this one little, I mean, it's just me being nitpicky, but I think the song is called Way Out, maybe, or Find a Way or something like that. But yeah, it's one of the last a song towards the end of Aggressive. And I love the song, but I feel like there was just like a couple things I was like, man, I wish I would have like, because I think if I remember, it was my favorite song to play drums on. It had like really fun drum parts, and I loved playing all the riffs and stuff. But I don't know, I don't remember exactly what, but I just remember after like 6 months that the record was out, I was like, there's this one lead guitar or something that I didn't fucking do. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty content with them. But
That's good.
yeah, that song. There's like, I feel like it just needed something that I didn't quite do.
I didn't even realize this, but we've entered the encore round of Offstage with DWP. So I'm asking you a couple more questions.
All right.
What's your favorite record of all time?
Oh my God. I mean, it changes. They're always AC/DC, but it's which AC/DC record. As of now, Powerage is probably my favorite record, period, right now. Like, that record just is killer. And
what is it about
I feel like it's a little bit.
What is it about AC/DC that you love so much? Besides the obvious, but
I mean, to me, they're just the best. Like, ever since I was a kid, I was like, this is just the coolest band. And my first record I ever bought was Back in Black, and that changed my entire life. And then after that, I went back and through their discography and High Voltage and Highway to Hell and Dirty Deeds and the Bond records, and then even to Thunderstruck and the later stuff. To me, they just deliver every fucking time. You know what you're getting, and they are the best at it. 4 on the floor, fucking ripping guitars with the best guitar tones of all time, just tight bass and great, powerful vocals. And all the songs are fun. They're not a serious band. Like, they're just about having a good time. And when you go back and watch them from the early days, it was basically just this live spectacle. And there's stories of when they recorded their early records, because they were just this live thing that people started to catch wind of. They would set them up like they were playing a show. And when they were recording these songs, Angus is fucking climbing on the amps and they're just putting on their show. And to me, they're just everything I love about rock and roll. It's an easy listen, powerful, heavy, great riffs, great solos, just the total package, man. They're everything.
They're the classic definition of taking their music seriously, but not themselves seriously.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like Iggy Pop once said, in rock and roll, you have to find your stupid. And
right.
Then look at what Angus Young does on stage. It's silly as F, but they take their music super seriously, and that's an essence of rock and roll. I agree.
Yeah, they're just such good players. They are so solid. And I mean, still to this day, they just put on a fucking mean show. And yeah.
All right, a couple Columbus questions for you.
Hit me.
Favorite restaurant in Columbus?
Favorite restaurant in Columbus? Oh my God, that's tough. Probably is it the Guild House?
Is that
the place
High Street?
Yeah, it's connected to that whatever the hotel I think most people stay at for the festivals. I think you guys probably stay there.
We do.
I can't Guild House, but yeah, that place is killer. Yeah.
All right. Favorite bar in Columbus?
Favorite bar
to grab a beer?
Oh man, there's this place called the Bottle Shop that is sick. It's like a cocktail bar, and it's attached to a wine and beer store. So you can go just like buy drinks. They'll pop them for you. If you want to like get a bottle of wine and set it on the patio, they have good food trucks there all the time. But yeah, Bottle Shop is
all right. There's a plug for the Bottle Shop in Columbus.
Yep.
You're welcome from Caleb. We've reached the end of Offstage with DWP. Caleb, brother, thanks for joining us. I have to say, whenever Beartooth plays, whether it's North Carolina or Kentucky or Aftershock, Rockville in Florida, we always say, because you're not an opening band for us anymore, never were.
Yeah.
But once Beartooth finishes, it's like, okay, the festival is now truly begun. You guys.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we know anytime we're playing those festivals, that we better bring the A game. And we just get so fucking pumped up, so much adrenaline. And to like, I mean, you guys are like family at this point. So to see all you guys, and it's just the best, man. It's a fucking treat. Nothing like it.
Well, we miss you dearly. We miss Rock and Roll Live. It's going to happen again soon enough. Any last things you want to say to the Beartooth fans out there?
I mean, first off, just thanks to every person who's ever supported us and helped us get to the point that we're at. And thanks for waiting through all this madness. And there will be a new record coming out soon that is really fucking cool. And I've never been more proud of an album in my life. So I cannot wait for this new shit to get rolling.
You want to drop it here? A little hint of the one-word title?
I wish,
okay.
but no, we got a whole reveal, man. It's going to be really fucking cool.
All right. Well, cheers, brother. Thank you. Keep on rocking. Keep on waving that rock flag. We need you, Caleb.
Of course.